Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, when you were drawing all those cards and just striking every turn, I was very scared because that made it so I couldn't draw as many cards.
Right, yeah. I mean,
And so the tempo swing there was super real, and I got super scared.
hmm did you enjoy the game?
Oh, that was super fun.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah,
delighted to hear that.
yeah. I really need to thank my friend for recommending this little game that we had because I definitely would love to do this again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, oh, he's bugging me on stream to troll you, I think. Um, oh yeah,
Yeah.
so or sorry, he's
So
saying he's telling you to defend on curve more often.
uh,
I don't know if you're familiar with the speed curve.
yeah. So the thing is, when I play Heidi, I either try to build up a lot of defense so I can ignore the speed curve, or enough that I can just take the loss anyways,
Yeah.
or I build up enough speed that I can just go over it.
hmm
Um, but a lot of the times when I play against people who don't draw as much as you just did, I constantly am asking for cards in hand.
hmm
So when I can Iron Knuckle Steel Driver them, I do.
hmm Yeah, Steel
Um,
Driver is very real.
yeah. Uh, for the longest time when me and my friend were learning this, and whenever I played Heidi, I would just always ask cards in hand. And because we weren't as good with reading and with kind of guessing what would be in the opponent's hand,
hmm
this would just be more devastating probably.
hmm
So
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing about playing against Guile, which obviously I'm guessing you haven't played into him yet, um, or have you? I don't know.
I've played against Sagat, because my friend likes to play Sagat.
Makes sense.
Um, but I haven't played against Guile.
Yeah,
First time.
the notable thing about Guile that makes it dangerous to like rely on your defenses is that he has an extra spike. Like he has an attack that says ignore guard. It doesn't ignore
Yeah.
armor, but it ignores guard at pretty high damage, and it makes you discard cards at random. So if you're trying to preserve a resource advantage and just tank things out, it can actually just blow that up in your face.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Likewise for spinning back knuckle, which does 7 power or more depending, and it makes you discard a card, and often it can evade a counterattack, although not necessarily. I mean, if you have this
Yeah.
on top of a sweep, it's not going to avoid it. Flash
Yeah.
kick notably does actually avoid sweep in most board states. I managed to corner myself, so it wasn't as good. But usually this is basically spike because it deals 6 damage and it gets out of the way of everything. Like twice this game I ate counterattacks with flash kick and I was amused because it doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The way I play Heidi though is I probably play her slightly more aggressive than I should be, and my friend is right that I should actually probably pay more attention to
Uh,
things like speed curve and all that.
I did
It's
I
just that
don't think you played her very aggressively at all actually.
the idea I feel with Heidi is I think the normal playstyle that was thought of when playing her is tacking even less, and I was like, that doesn't seem fun.
Huh.
Because I feel like what they intended with her is to kind of build up so many boosts that you just are in your mech.
Oh, that would make
Then
sense.
again, I could be wrong
Thematically,
because
yeah.
I'm not in their heads. I can't tell, but yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the way she was intended was she was actually supposed to maybe attack with huge attacks like once or twice a game, but they were supposed to be super devastating.
Mm. I like that you I'm just going to observe because like people seeing this might not be familiar with Heidi and her playstyles. I like that you use what I consider to be like the canonical combo, which is to use Switchbox to reveal Destructure Beam, which lets you execute Destructure Beam without paying its cost.
Yeah.
So this is a free. Your opponent discards a bunch of cards, and then you get to draw an extra for resolving it, which is
Hmm.
always fantastic. The other really scary Switchbox combo is to Switchbox for Genius, which uh, we often we kind of call this cheater because Sea Viper has a boost that does this that we call cheater,
Yeah.
or that is named cheater. So like that's just the word for pull a boost from your discard pile these days. But yeah, like Switchbox for Genius to pull back a continuous from discard at no cost is pretty crazy. So she has some very cool little combos. Um,
Oh yeah.
but of course, the Prince of Power on her attacks is all like trash. So she I feel like she really relies on her Exceed mode. I was surprised that you used an Ultra before you Exceeded.
Um, I was actually thinking about exceeding, but I saw the idea of like, well, rail driver here, just because the positioning that we were in, I thought it was a bit better to just throw out the rail driver
Hmm.
than actually exceed.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
but yeah,
I would say that it worked out. The drawback of using Rail Driver in offense is obviously that I get initiative, so I have the opportunity to do something about that boost. If I had dive and play, I could tech it. I'm not sure I actually ever played tech this game, come to think of it, which is weird because against Heidi that normally sees a lot of play. But I feel like it just
honestly, I was surprised that you didn't tech anything because
yeah,
you didn't.
I never felt like I needed to was the thing, because you like at the early in the game when you were building up that massive stockpile, I was like, okay, he's setting up the artillery cannon mix-up because artillery cannon has ignore armor, and you're at range 4, and like at range 4 I can just block unless you play artillery cannon, which case I explode and die horribly. And then you moved into range 1, and I'm like, oh, I I just block. Like I am okay with burning all of that momentum. Like that
Yeah,
is not an issue. Um,
yeah. Um,
mhm,
when I mulliganed, I actually didn't get a lot of cards I wanted, so I was more or less hard playing those cards to discard and draw more because
mhm,
I just
mhm.
didn't like my hand.
Makes sense. I think mech cannon is
So
actually
yeah,
very very good. But the boost on it is also very very good. So what are you gonna do? Like,
yeah,
gotta pick one or the other.
yeah. When I play one of the other, I like to play a lot of like really different in playstyle characters. So I
Hmm.
like to play Taisei, and when I play Taisei, everything I do is way more telegraphed than if I play Heidi.
That is a dangerous thing if you're Taisei. Telegraphing as Taisei is living very dangerously.
Well, it's mainly because I've essentially listed out to my friend like all the things that like I essentially have a chart of what I do as Taisei.
Oh, okay.
So it's literally fall.
Hmm.
I don't have a physical chart, but I have a chart, and
Right, right.
essentially he knows that chart.
Yeah.
So when I play Taisei, he will almost know exactly what to do against me
Hmm.
because I have stated exactly like what my thoughts, strategies, and all that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
So
mean, when there are some characters like my Imogene and my Rimless are very very predictable.
yeah,
Um, it's
but
like
that's what. Or yeah, you keep going.
I was just to say like that they're very predictable, but uh, they're also like the part that makes it unpredictable is you don't know if I drew my first choice or my second choice. So when I execute something, you don't know if I'm actually setting up the thing that is my first choice or if I because I'm going to play exactly the same way. Like I don't care if I draw the card that I want to play. I'm going to play as if I have it because that to
Yeah,
me is what makes the game work. Like
yeah.
that's just how this operates.
With Heidi, I like that with the ability I like that her boosts actually have force costs, and the reason why is because if you didn't have those force costs, you'd probably actually be drawing way too much,
Hmm.
and as a result, I think she would be even way stupider
Yeah,
than some of her kid already is.
yeah, she has some real dumb stuff for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
like this thing pulling back what is it? This thing
yeah,
as many times, well, not as many times as she wants, but a whole lot of times at no cost is incredibly good.
yeah.
Um, but
But I like that you can definitely draw through your deck. I love that part of Heidi.
mhm.
When I play other card games, essentially, I like drawing a lot. So that's probably how I just got used to playing her a lot more.
Mhm.